Hey friends, this is Sean Washburn from YourExcelTutor.com, and you're watching 30 Tips in 30 Days. And today we're going to be talking about some copying and pasting techniques that will really help you out. And you're probably used to the usual copy, Control C and Control V, or I can right click and copy and then right click and paste, or I can use the copy and paste up here. And those all work fine. Those are still good. And there's, in Excel, one thing is true is there are usually lots of different ways to do something. But when you have copying and pasting that's in adjacent cells, so cells next to each other, there's some cool ways you can do it that'll save you a lot of time. So we're going to look at this, this sample shirt schedule for if you're trying to, let's just say it's someone's schedule for what t-shirts they're going to wear to work. And they've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They've got, what colors each week. Looks like Wednesday they're mixing it up. So what you can do is, let's say we've got 5 weeks here and we want to bring it down to 10 weeks. I could always just type it in manually, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could use a formula or something like that. But what's easiest is if I highlight, I'm going to click and drag and highlight. All you need is really up to three cells that show a pattern. And then when I go to this bottom right corner of that cell, you notice it switches from a regular cross there to that small little black cross. When I left click on that and drag down, it's going to try to match. You'll see that numbers that show up there. It's going to guess at what I was trying to do, and it's going to extend that series. So if I keep going down to make it go down to, let's go 15, so 15 weeks. Now, for some reason, if I wanted to just do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you can do that as well, and you can come down here and just pick that. So I could say copy cells, and it would have done that instead, but it's guessing based on what I had that it wants to fill the series down there. So again, that's, we'll undo that again. If you have 3, now you could do all 5, that's fine. Now notice if I do 5 and I have a space, I'm not sure if it's gonna, so it does kind of try to do the 6, it goes down, but it leaves a space. So you notice it matches your pattern. So here it's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, and it sees that space and tries to add it in there. So it's gonna do kind of what you asked it to do, and you just got to be careful with that. So you can always undo if you mixed up. So we're gonna go down to week 15. And then same thing with the blue. Now here's where it gets cool, is especially if we've done other videos where we talked about having lots of rows or lots of columns of data. If you've ever had a table that is really long and goes, maybe it's got 1,000 rows, it can get really hairy to navigate through all that. And especially if you're trying to fill it up like this, and this went down to, let's say we do this again here. Let's go down to 59 weeks. Okay, so that's a pretty good shirt schedule planned out in advance. And let's say Monday is always going to be blue. Well, I could come here and I could drag this down, and that would work. But if it starts to get really long, if you've done this before, you keep on holding on that, you get a hold on that until you get to the bottom. But there's an easier way to do it. And what it is when you have a column that's solid, so there's no spaces in here, what you can do, if that's your main column, is on this one I can double click. So instead of clicking with left click and dragging, I can double click with my left button. When I do that, it's going to fill all the way down to the bottom. And this will work too with the series, so we'll show you here. So I double click, boom, it fills blue all the way down there. I come over here to the gray, double click the gray, same thing. Now here, let's try this. So we're going to do yellow, red, green, and I'm going to double click. Oops. Let's try that again. Alright, let's get all those. Okay, so that one was a little tricky because it wants to duplicate the well, it actually did what I asked. So let's do that. We'll just take the yellow out. We'll try this again. Alright, now it's a little better. Before, with that extra yellow, it assumed that was part of the pattern instead of just going over it. But same thing, goes all the way to the bottom. To me, that's one of the things that saved me so much time ever since I started using that feature is to be able to double click and have that thing fill in. So this works with formulas, it works with formatting, anytime anything you've got in one cell and you want to have it go down to the bottom. And it gives you the options, so when you do it, double click, you come down here and it gives you the options again of different things you can do with that if it didn't do what you intended to do. One thing is cool though too, it picks up, you can do stuff to the right. You can't do the double click to the right because that by default it's assuming you're going down, but let's say we come over here, it understands days of the week too. So you can click here and drag and you'll see it start to fill in there. So Friday, Saturday, and it'll just keep going as long as you keep doing it. And just as a test here, so let's try this. Let's say we wanted to repeat this pattern across. Yeah, see, it's going to go down on you. So you can do the stuff down, but if you want to, you can copy this across. If we wanted to, we could do blue, gray, yellow, and it would pick up that pattern again going across. So it's pretty smart with the things. I mean, just give it a shot. If you have anything that has any kind of pattern in it, it could be, maybe you have a formula that has a pattern. It's going to do its best to try to pick up on that pattern and copy that for you. So, these, we can come over here like this, and then maybe you just want to go like this. We go double click and then just fill it on real fast. So as soon as you have the one column established, then the other ones are super easy because you can just double click and have it go all the way to the bottom. So hopefully that's something that can help you. Maybe you've been using that already, and that's awesome. There's lots of other even variations of this that are helpful. But if you haven't been using that, I think that's something that you can give a shot, and it should save you some time when you're filling in tables or filling in series and things like that. So thanks, and check in tomorrow for another tip.